Hey guys, PrinceofMacedon here, doing a commentary video for Men of War. This is an online multiplayer battle. I command the USA, and my opponent is sgwa in command of the Germans. This is played on the Dunverde map, and this is patch 1.17.5.1, and this is Battle Zones. So I've taken 2 flag points already, and my opponent is trying to take the middle spawn point from me, and I gun down his infantry as he tries to charge onto the spawn point there. And looks like my guys used their Thompson guns to some good effect. And here I rolled out a jumbo tank, and that is going to support my advanced SMG infantry squad. So my opponent does control that flag point right there. I do have one infantryman right there. I'm going to have him spy on that spawn point. So it's so far so good. There seems to be no enemy movement over there. But as my guy peeks over that little brick fence, my guy gets shot at, and then he dies. That's a sad life. So, here's my jumbo tank. I am controlling 2 spawn points. My opponent controls 1, so I am going up on the scoreboard right now. And there's 12 minutes and 27 seconds left in this battle. So here you can see me picking my next unit. And I opted to pick another SMG squad. So I'm going to bring these guys closer to that enemy spawn point. If I control 3 spawn points, that would dramatically increase my lead. So I brought out a Hellcat tank destroyer, and I'm going to have him pluck away at that enemy spawn point. I'm using direct control here. This is what direct control looks like. And I'm using an HE round because that's better suited for killing infantry units. So I'm going to pluck away at these likely spots for his infantry to be taking cover. So I missed with the first 2 shots. With my 3rd shot, I actually managed to take out one dude right there. And at the same time, my SMG infantry is making its way closer to the enemy spawn point. So I'm going to rush up my tank destroyer a little farther up, and then I'm going to get some nice combined arms movement going on against that enemy spawn point. So we take out that enemy unit right there, and I'm going to take some guys to scout out the area, make sure it's clear. And you can see that the area is not clear yet. There seems to be some German units still in the vicinity, hiding out in the bushes. But my tank destroyer takes care of those guys, and I'm going to bring up my infantry, and I'm going to build a nest on this spawn point. Well, not build the nest, I'm going to pretty much just sit on it, like a bird, I guess. And I'm going to fortify my position here, make it more secure.
Yes, sir!
And you can see the spawn point is at 20 or 30% right now, so it's almost mine. Well, it's getting there. And now I have 3 spawn points. You can see my score on the top right. It is dramatically going higher and higher. And there's 10 minutes and 26 seconds left. And my army is composed of SMG infantry, a tank destroyer, and a jumbo tank. And my opponent was trying to outflank my spawn point there, but my tank destroyer in the back was able to take him out before he snuck up on my infantry. And at this point, I'm pretty much playing the waiting game because I do control 3 spawn points, and I have troops scattered around the map, so I can respond to any threat that my opponent makes on any of my spawn points. So I'm going to see what he tries to do, and then I can react to him. But there I decided to bring out a flamethrower unit, and I'm going to put him by that barn. Alright, now I'm being attacked by my opponent. He's bringing out some infantry guys, and he is using a mortar now. So he has a mortar back there. And if your opponent ever has a lot of infantry units, using mortars is a great way to take out soft targets like infantrymen. So right now my opponent is doing a good job of taking out my infantry units. So I'm bringing out my my jumbo tank, and I'm going to make a rush at my opponent's mortar. And there I spot that little nest up there. And what I should have done was switch to my HE round. But there I came up against some infantry units. My tank was able to take them out. And you heard that little bouncy noise on my tank's armor. My opponent brought out a artillery gun. And with his 3rd shot, he took out my jumbo tank. And that was a Pack 40 that he used. So, I'm bringing up some infantry. My opponent does have the middle spawn point now. And I really can't advance with just infantry now because my opponent does have that mortar back there. So I gotta be very careful. I don't want to get my infantry destroyed right now. But you hear that little clanky noise in the back? That is my Pershing tank. I'm going to bring him up to support my infantry advance. And my objective is to, well, it's actually my objectives, and my objectives are to take out my opponent's Pack 40, and also take out his mortar back there.
Yes, sir.
And then hopefully drive my opponent to the very back. Alright, I'm going to sit on the spawn point, retake it, and that's going to force my opponent to respawn. And then I can hopefully take out some more German units.
Got it, sir.
And these bad boys that you're seeing right now, these are my assault troops. And I just had my guy hop over that fence. He's showing off his acrobatic skills. And I still have my flamethrower unit. In the game, I kind of forgot about him, so you're not going to see too much action from my flamethrower. Now my opponent's bringing up an infantryman, and that is to spot my infantry. And once my infantry spotted, then his mortar can go to town on my infantry. So what I want to do is bring up my tank and just take out that mortar, and also take out his Pack 40 gun. So I'm using direct control. You can see it. I'm using my HE round. That's a good way to take out like soft targets, and also take out artillery pieces. So there I'm targeting, and I missed the first few times when I target him. And typically you wouldn't zoom in like this, but I want to show you guys what it looks like. So I zoomed in during the battle, and with that shot I took out his Pack 40. So now I can deal with his mortar, but you gotta be very careful because you have no idea what kind of troops are lying nearby. So my opponent could have that whole area right there dotted with anti-tank units. So I gotta be very careful if I charge my tank up there. And there, my opponent had a Panzer IV, and my Hellcat actually took it out. And so my Hellcat's been very effective on this flank here. And I do control 3 spawn points again. And I have about 880 points, almost. So my opponent needs to stop me from controlling these spawn points. He needs to take at least one of these spawn points, so that'll slow down my lead. But I still do want to advance forward and take out that mortar. And finally, I'm going to move up my flamethrower. Yeah, during the battle, I completely forgot about him. I had him behind that little barn, or it looks kind of like a meat hall from this angle. Alright, so I'm bringing up more infantry guys. Gonna push him up here because my opponent's mortar took out my previous infantry unit. Alright, there are some enemy infantry guys nearby. And my assault infantry right there are packing some serious heat. So we're going to overpower those German defenders right there. But unfortunately for me, my opponent rolled out a Panther, and with that Panther he took out my Hellcat. But my Hellcat is still repairable, so I'm going to get my guys and start repairing that Hellcat. But that Panther is still out there, so I have to be very careful. And I do have a T-29 now, and a Pershing tank, plus all my infantry. But if you look at the scoreboard, my score is about to reach the winning score, which is 1200. So the battle will end right there. But it's a very close battle in terms of kills, but I won on points there. But a very good game to my opponent, sgwa. Hope you guys enjoyed this battle.